we starting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, that was really loud.
I didn't know we were starting already. All right. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me tone it down a bit. Alrighty.
All right. Welcome to My Dad's Movie Podcast. I'm Mick Johnson. I'm the dad. And with me, as usual, my number one son, Tabor. And there's Tabor.
Open up my beer. Something I have not said.
Edit.
Yeah. Haven't said that in a long time. All right. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And we don't have a guest in the house today.
We don't. It's just you and I tonight.
I actually thought about, depending on availability, Colin, Nick, and Alec, maybe we would talk about the movie for a bit, and then after a while give them a call and see if they want to talk about it, because they watched it with us.
Yeah, we could do that. We can give them a call.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about it first?
Yeah, let's talk about it first, and then we'll stick them in if I feel like I want to listen to either one of them.
Okay.
I'm on the fence right now. I don't know.
So what movie do we watch then?
Actually, Alec is probably busy right now. It's only 7 o'clock, but he might be available.
I'll send him a message.
What we're talking about tonight, so we're going to talk about my absolute favorite movie of all time, The Last Samurai.
Love this movie.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's a great movie. Director Edward Zwick, he's a phenomenal director. He's done a lot of stuff. We're actually not going to talk a lot about him as a director tonight. We're just going to focus on the movie a little bit more. But, in a future one, we'll dive into Edward Zwick a little bit more.
Cool.
That I think that might be the name of a book, Diving into Edward Zwick.
I think you're confusing that with Becoming John Malkovich. Or
Yeah.
is that's the name of the movie, right? Being John Malkovich.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Yeah. We'll have to do that one too.
I haven't seen it.
John Malkovich. Holy mackerel.
John Malkovich is such a fun guy.
Have you seen him in Red?
No.
Oh, he is so awesome in Red. So let's talk about Last Samurai. So like I said, it's my absolute favorite. It's one of those movies that, and I'll tell you why, but it's one of those movies that somehow a long time ago, I got in the habit of I need to watch certain movies every year. Usually just before the end of the year, around Christmas time, I get in this mood where I need to see certain movies. And Last Samurai is at the top of the list. I watch it every single year without fail. In fact, Haley, your sister,
Yeah.
she goes and finds my copy of Last Samurai every year for Christmas and wraps it up and sticks it under the tree so I can reopen it every year.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
I think that's such a cool story.
I think there was one year that she couldn't find it. I think I hid it.
Oh,
so she couldn't find it.
No, you wrapped it up and gave it to her.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, that's what happened.
There's been a few different things that have happened. Yeah.
You beat her to it, yeah.
But I think one year I took it and she went and bought another copy. So I still ended up
Really?
I think I might have 2 copies.
That's great. So it's probably about time that we get you the Blu-ray copy of this movie.
How come? What's better about that? Why would I need that?
So this is kind of an interesting thing to talk about. It hasn't been an issue for many years, but I want to talk about it and bring it up. And you probably remember this problem. Right at the start of the DVD zeitgeist, we still had square TVs.
Yeah.
And so anytime mom would buy a DVD, we had to be very, very careful which one we bought because there was 2 DVDs of the same movie. There was the widescreen version and then there was the full screen version.
Oh.
And so our family did not like the widescreen version because we were watching a square TV.
It didn't work on the television.
And it would have the big black bars, and so you'd be just watching this thin movie on this square TV. So anytime we bought a DVD, we had to remind Mom, okay, make sure you buy the full screen version, because
Right.
that's the one that's going to work on our TV.
Right.
Well, fast forward a couple years, we no longer have square TVs. We have rectangular TVs that fit the widescreen movies, more perfectly. So we have the full screen version of Last Samurai on DVD, and that's why we have those black boxes, those black bars on the side of the movie.
You're right. But what's weird is I don't think I notice them when I'm watching the movie. Maybe I don't pay attention to it, or...
Well, I notice it when we start the movie. And then after I get into the movie, then I kind of forget that I'm watching
Right.
a 4:3 aspect ratio. So if we bought you the Blu-ray version...
yeah, the 4:3. Yeah, exactly. The 5:4. I don't like that one either.
I knew this was where we were going. You said 4:3, and I was like,
Yeah.
he's got no idea what he's talking about. He's gonna start going off the rails here.
Look how smart I am.
Yeah. So when we were doing research on that movie, Last Samurai,
Yeah.
last time we watched it, because we started doing a little bit of research as we watched it, and we learned that it was actually shot on anamorphic lenses. So that would give it the widescreen look when we watch it on the new TV.
Right.
But there's going to be so much more. All those black bars that we had on the side, there's so much more information there. And so you're going to be seeing all these wide open vistas, and just, if you thought the movie looked great before.
Well, I guess that's why you like it when you go watch it in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Right? That huge view. You get to
Yeah.
see everything. Yeah, I guess that's right.
Yeah. So, and literally when they're doing the full screen version, they just take the movie, zoom in a little bit, and then cut off the sides. So that's why on a square TV, you didn't know you were missing anything, because it filled the TV perfectly. But then switching over to the new TVs, you're like, oh, there's something missing there.
Missing half of my movie.
Yeah. We watched The Lighthouse, and remember,
Yeah.
the aspect ratio was different on that one too. But that was done intentionally. That was not done due to the limitations of TVs.
Everything, all I remember about that movie is everything that was done was designed to make me feel like I was insane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the only intent.
Well, that's the point. Yeah. Did you ever end up watching Nosferatu?
No,
Okay.
I haven't. It's still on my bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've got a bunch of those. I'm catching up.
We're going to get that bucket list episode out, and we're going to talk about all the movies, because I missed a couple too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm not exempt.
So I've seen The Last Samurai probably 100 times. But I thought it was really cool because I think, so when you were here for around Christmas time, of course you lived just down the road, but then Nicholas came home for Christmas and Alec was home from Provo for Christmas. We all sat down and watched it all together. And I think that might have been the first time Alec has ever seen it, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
I don't know about Nicholas. I can't remember.
No, he's seen it before.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was really cool getting to sit down with you guys and watch it. And, it's such an emotional movie. There's so much to it. And I know you guys, when you talk about movies, you're talking about character development and character arcs. And you're talking about, the scenery and the lighting and the music. And to me, this movie has everything.
Mm-hmm.
All of those aspects of everything you guys ever talk about in movies that make them great movies, it seems like this has all of them.
Yeah.
So what do we want to talk about first about it? So you like it, right?
I love this movie.
Tell me what you like about it, I guess. What drives you to like it? Is It's not just because I like it, right?
No.
Okay.
It's a good movie by itself. Sentimental value set aside. It's an incredible movie. Ken Watanabe got nominated for an Academy Award.
I think that was his debut
Yeah,
for American film, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty cool.
I remember reading somewhere that he had to teach himself English phonetically because he didn't, he wasn't as good of an English speaker.
What's cool is he's playing a character who's kind of learning English as the character.
So I mean, it fits right in. Yeah, he's a guy whose English isn't his first language, so now he gets to learn it on screen and part of his character.
Right.
And
Yeah, I've always liked him a lot.
Yeah, he's
been
great.
in a lot of stuff that we've seen. Inception, Alice in Borderland, the TV.
oh, I haven't
Series.
seen that yet. I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah. A couple of Transformers I think he was in. He was in Batman Begins.
Alice in Borderland. That's a Japanese show, right?
Yes.
So is he speaking Japanese in that show?
I don't remember. I've seen Alice in Borderland, all of the full series, and I know that he was in it, but I can't remember exactly what his character was in it.
Okay.
Yeah. That's another one of those shows that there's so much going on. It's crazy. But yeah, I've always liked Ken Watanabe. So, characters.
Yeah.
Character development.
Lots of fun actors in this movie. You have Billy Connolly,
Yeah.
who's the sergeant at the beginning. He's such a fun actor. Zeb.
Yeah.
Anything he's in, he's got such a cool personality, and I love him.
He was the character in Lemony Snicket's, wasn't he?
Uh-huh.
Also?
Yeah, he was the cousin who owned the reptile room, I believe.
That's right, the snakes and stuff.
Yeah, with the incredibly deadly viper that isn't actually deadly.
Right. And I remember him from Timeline. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't he die in Timeline?
I think he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Timeline, that's a movie I haven't seen in a long time. It's probably one I should brush up on. I remember liking it quite a bit. I wonder if it holds up.
I think so.
It's got a young Gerard Butler in it.
Yeah.
We have Tony Goldwyn as the bad guy. He's what is he? Colonel?
Colonel Begley.
Yeah.
Colonel Begley.
He's such a good bad guy. I love him so much. He plays a bad guy in everything he's in. He's just got that face he's got a bad guy face.
He was in Ghost. He was the bad guy.
Yeah.
He was in Oppenheimer, but I can't remember what his character was in that one.
He was, I think, remember the movie cuts back and forth between the inquest where he's like kind of on trial and he's in that room and they got a bunch of people at the boardroom table. I think he's the one leading the boardroom.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen Oppenheimer, so I mean, I'll have to sit down and watch it the next time I got 8 hours to spare.
Timothy Spall.
Wormtail from Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
1 and 2, I think.
And I like that you see him in this as kind of like a good guy because he's just so dingy and gross in Harry Potter. Like when I walked away from that movie, I was like, oh, they just found a dingy and gross guy.
Right.
And so that's who he is. But outside.
You want to make a couple bucks? Come on.
Yeah. Outside of that movie, that's not how he is at all. And
right.
It was kind of cool to get that.
Yeah. His character was really cool.
Speaking of character arcs, he's kind of ignorant at the beginning of the movie and kind of doesn't understand the full weight of, the samurai. And he's kind of, he's light with the material and he thinks it's fun and enjoyable, but doesn't understand the depth. And
right.
at the end of the movie, he's just got so much emotional weight on him because of everything he's seen and everything he now knows. And
there's that scene. Tom Cruise was also in this. I don't know if you remember. He had a cameo.
I must have missed that
cameo appearance, but he was in it. Yeah. But there was that scene where Timothy Spall, who is Simon Graham, he's having a few drinks. He's having the sake, and he's talking to Tom Cruise, who plays Nathan Algren, and he's basically just kind of talking about, the fascination of,
I've always been curious about the
right,
about
cutting the scalp.
scalping.
Yeah, yeah. It's a curiosity for him.
Yeah.
Well, Nathan Algren, he's been right in the middle of it.
It's too real.
This is traumatic stuff that he
Yeah.
has gone through. So yeah, he gives him a visual lesson in what does this really mean. It's not just in a book. You don't just read about this and you can understand it. So I'm going to throw some emotion in here so that you can really kind of get a grasp of what's happening. It's not something that's just light and you write about it and that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm. And at the end, he does understand.
Yeah.
He didn't witness the Native Americans or the scalping, but the emotion of what Nathan Algren had to sit with, he now has that.
Right. So there's other characters also, but I kind of wanted to talk. So, for me, for movies, the emotional aspect of the movie to me is what is really important.
It's got to have a good story. It's
Right.
got to have a strong
Right.
emotion.
It's got to have a really good story. It's got to have really good character development, and there has to be a reason for it, And so the character development, talk about Tom Cruise and Nathan Algren. Talk about a change over time. What he was to begin with at the beginning of the movie was just a shell of a man. He was just totally broken. He was kind of had lost,
He was an alcoholic.
Yeah, alcoholic. He had lost faith in humanity, and everything was just bad. But the things that he had to do for this, it was 1870s. The things that he saw and the things that he was ordered to do and stuff, and the killing of people and innocent people, and that just kind of broke him inside. And so it was really cool. Some of the scenes that they show where they show kind of what he has gone through. They do these little flashback things. And one of them that I thought was really cool was, he agrees to go to Japan and help train their army to fight against the samurai. And on his way there, he's putting on his uniform and he's looking in a mirror. And as he's putting the uniform on, he starts to have these feelings and these flashbacks. And we see, some of the trouble that he was in and stuff. And I really liked that they kind of introduce us into kind of his world and why he is so, so bad off,
Yeah.
why he's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right.
All the horrible things he had to do in the war, and that kind of stuff sits with you. I've never been to war, but I hear there's lots of people who never forget the things that they've seen.
Right. That's why there's PTSD and shell shock and all these other traumatic things. Going through stuff like that, and luckily I never had to either. You know, but I can imagine, going someplace and having to take people's lives, or having people that you care for be killed, or those types of things. They have to have a huge effect on your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who was in the Marine Corps, and he's never talked to me about any of the stuff that he's seen.
He probably doesn't want it to come back up.
No, but he suffers from depression and PTSD, and he's done a lot of struggling, and so I can see the effect that it has on him, and that's, really unfortunate.
Right.
Yeah, and then Nathan Algren comes to Japan, has to do this all over again, but this time he gets the chance to redeem himself and, kind of find the beauty in the other culture that, that he was sent to fight.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that he would have found beauty in, the Native American. Do you remember what tribe it was from the I can't remember.
Cheyenne.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was the Cheyenne. In the beginning of this story, he's only going there because they're going to pay him,
Yeah.
a lot of money. I think it was like $500 or something to go train their army how to fight.
That's a lot of money back then.
Yeah. And so it was completely money driven. There was no, I'm going to go and learn anything or become, emotionally whole or anything like that. None of that stuff was a factor in it. It was completely, I'm going to make money and this is what it is. It was really cool when he's talking to Colonel Bagley, not Baggerly. I keep saying Baggerly because that's how Omora says it.
Oh.
Colonel Baggerly. One of the quotes, he's talking to Bagley. When Bagley's trying to get him to go ahead and do it, talk him into going and training the Japanese. Algren says, "You want me to kill Japos? I'll kill Japos. I'm not asking you to kill anybody. You want me to kill the enemies of Japos? I'll kill the enemies of Japos. Rebs, Sioux, Cheyenne, for $500 a month, I'll kill whoever you want. But keep one thing in mind. I'd happily kill you for free."
Yeah.
It's like, holy mackerel.
Yeah, and it's so cool that he, spoiler alert for
Oh, yeah. Sorry
anyone
about
who
that.
hasn't seen the movie. He totally does. He gets him.
Yeah, in the end.
Takes that samurai sword, throws it right through his chest.
That's got a sting.
I'd imagine that it hurts a little, yeah. Loose plot of this movie, Nathan Algren is a retired Civil War soldier
Yep.
who,
He's working for the Winchester Company,
yeah.
making like $25 a week or something like that.
Yeah, he's an ad man, right?
Right. He goes out and he talks about the gun that won the West, and then Winchester sell the guns. Right.
Do you know who he's working for?
Yes. The guy. Oh, what was
Walter Peck from Ghostbusters.
Yes. Winchester rep William Atherton.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Also Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot he was in
Oh,
that.
and Real Genius.
Is he just a tool? Tony Goldwyn's the bad guy in everything he's in, but William Atherton is just a tool in everything.
Right.
He's not necessarily a bad guy. He's just kind of a jerk.
The casting call. We need a tool. Who are we going to get?
William Atherton. I saw a video that was interviewing William Atherton, and he said that he gets people who accost him on the street because of his role in Ghostbusters.
Oh, really?
And he's like, I'm an actor, right? Like, I really didn't stop the Ghostbusters. Like,
Right.
I really didn't unleash millions of ghosts on New York City. That never happened. That's not real. I'm just a guy.
Right. That was just on TV.
Do you know how many people probably walk up to him and go, "It's true, Your Honor. This man has no dick." So, not William Atherton, Algren, Nathan Algren.
Algren.
He gets hired to train the new Japanese army, and this is the turn of the civilization for Japan. The samurai are being phased out. They are moving more towards the American style of life. The cities are becoming more bustling.
Right.
And they're training their soldiers in, typical strategy. They now have rifles. They now have cannons.
Well, the samurai, they were kind of, like warlords. You know, they had these areas, and they were
It was
what is it?
like feudalism,
Yeah.
and they were almost like governors.
Yeah, we'll protect you, but we're also going to harass and torment you, and you're gonna, we're gonna govern over you, but it's by the sword instead of law or those types of things.
And I imagine that it was almost like a form of government where each one had a territory and they had their own sets of rules and laws, but it was different based on different areas.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so right. So Japan they're going through this change, and they're wanting to kind of modernize and change everything. And, the military just happens to be one of them, right?
And you see those guys, they look like they have never held a firearm in their lives. They're shaking, they're scared. There's that scene.
Well, they've been farmers and stuff. They've not been military people, right?
And they have that scene where he's like, he wants that Japanese soldier to shoot him. And he's standing like
Right.
100 yards away, maybe even less. And the guy is shaking and he can't hit a thing.
Right. Shoot me, damn it.
Speaking of the soldiers, we watched that little featurette at the end of the DVD where they were talking about how all of the soldiers, all of the actors that played the soldiers were local Japanese actors. And then they would strip off all their clothes, and then they would go dress up as samurai to shoot the other side of the scene. So they would just jump back and forth.
Well, you only have there's only so many Japanese people.
There's only so many Japanese actors. I mean, if you got every person in Japan to do it, that's one thing. But you got to narrow it down. You got to make sure that these guys are actors.
Right.
One of the Japanese actors got kicked in the crotch by Tom Cruise's horse.
After I read about that, I went back and watched it to make sure that was accurate, and it was accurate. He got bopped.
Yeah. Yeah. What a great moment in history.
He probably got hazard pay.
No, of course. Like Tony Todd from Candyman had it written into his contract that anytime he got stung by a bee, he got a bonus.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, because they put live bees in his mouth.
Oh, man.
Yeah. He, racked up quite a paycheck after all those bee stings.
Yeah, please sting me. Come on. I need some more money. Sting me.
Exactly. So Algren meets the soldiers. They are not ready. And Tony Goldwyn says, who cares? We're sending them out anyway. We're going to settle this thing with...
Right. Now, that's based on Omura. So Omura is his family they have a lot of money. They have a lot of power and influence over Japan. And I think Omura is kind of like an advisor to the
emperor.
To the emperor, right? And so, they say the emperor, his voice is too pure to be heard and stuff. So, really, it's kind of Omura just deciding this is what we're going to do, and all the stuff that happens. You got to secure my railroad. You got to secure my cities. It's all just for power and to make more money and stuff. So Omura's telling them we have to go march on them and destroy them now, way before the army's ready. So
that's when they run into the samurai, and they mop the floor with that army. It is so
right. Well, because the armies, they're not prepared physically, but they're also not prepared psychologically. We're talking about hundreds of years, thousands of years, whatever it is, of the samurai are like gods. They're elite. So
they've done nothing but train
for warfare, right? Yeah. So here I am. I can't even shoot a gun, and I'm going to go out and go up against these people that can't be beat, right?
Yeah. You got a rifle that gets one shot, Not a lot of these guys had repeaters or revolvers.
Right.
So they were using single shot rifles. And
Yeah,
if
that you loaded. You put the ball down the thing. You put the
if you
What
did
in
not
the
hit
world?
if you did not hit that samurai, that was it. Because now he's coming up on you
Right.
with his horse, and he's going to cut your head off.
Right.
There's another memorable scene. We lose Zeb pretty early on.
Yeah. And I was kind of bummed about that he gets killed.
Yeah, super
Sorry
early.
about spoiler alert there again.
Yeah.
Zeb dies.
Yeah. But we get another memorable scene where there is a commander in the Japanese army who used to be a samurai.
Yes. I didn't write down what his name was.
But he gets captured by the samurai, and instead of, being taken alive, he decides to die an honorable death and
Right.
stabs himself with his own sword, and then Katsumoto cuts his head
Cuts
off.
his head off. And that's the whole thing with in battle, there are ways that you can die that are honorable, right? And if you're defeated in battle and you're not killed, but you're defeated, then the honorable thing is to take your own life.
And that's a very memorable, and you kind of see Algren notice this and kind of, he takes notice, and
It's not what he does. It's not his tradition.
it doesn't
Right.
it doesn't make sense to him. Yeah.
Right.
And Katsumoto even tells him that that's what he wanted. He asked to have an honorable death, and so that's what he received.
Right.
He was I think he said something about how he was happy to give it to him. He asked for an honorable death, and he was happy to.
He was honored to cut off his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, they capture Tom Cruise. He puts up a very good fight, and Katsumoto immediately takes a liking to him. He's just like, this guy's so cool. I want to know
Yeah.
more about him.
The really neat thing about when he gets there, when he gets to the village, so the son of Katsumoto, played by Ken Watanabe, what was his name? Nobutada.
Yeah.
Nobutada. He's the son, and evidently it's his village. But when Tom Cruise,
It's the son's village?
it's the son's village.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. But almost immediately, you start to see some changes in Tom Cruise. Now he has to go through, the drug withdrawal
Oh, yeah.
of, being an alcoholic.
Suck it!
Right.
Just screaming at the top of his lungs.
Right. And at first, Nobutada, he's giving it to him. Just give it to him. It's okay. It's my village. Just give it to him. But the wife, so Tom Cruise kills one of the samurai in battle before he gets taken, and that happens to be the husband of the person that he's staying with now. She's going to treat his wounds and take care of him.
And that's the youngest. That's his sister, right? Katsumoto's sister?
Yes, I think it is. Yeah.
And it's the other guy's aunt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But, she doesn't want to keep giving him alcohol. She knows that that's not going to do any good. It's not going to serve any purpose. He's just, every night he's just going to be screaming for sake. So he goes through that withdrawal, and then once he gets through it, in the morning, the sun is up. You can hear birds. You can hear people. He gets dressed and he goes outside to kind of start looking around a little bit, and you can see his demeanor is starting to change, just in the fact that he's no longer an alcoholic, in that, he doesn't have any alcohol in him at that time.
And that village is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a beautiful village. I was doing some research on it. So apparently most of the movie was shot in New Zealand.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They said that New Zealand had this untouched look. And that's why they shot Lord of the Rings there. I mean, granted, Peter Jackson is from New Zealand.
Sure.
But they shot most of this movie here, except for the scenes where they were like old Japanese temples that they couldn't replicate. Those were shot in Japan. But most of everything was shot in New Zealand. I believe the village was built in New Zealand, and a lot of the buildings were made with like warped wood and impurities, just to kind of show this is what it would have looked like. They wouldn't have had perfect buildings. They had what they had, and that's what
and this stuff has been here and been aging and weathered for a gazillion years, right?
And so, yeah, it was that little village is just so freaking beautiful.
So he gets a little escort, Bob. That's what he calls him, Bob.
Yeah, that's the name he gives him. You never hear his name, real name. And when he dies, spoiler alert, you hear Tom Cruise, Bob, like scream for Bob, and it's not a silly moment.
No.
When he's calling him Bob at first, it's silly and goofy, and you kind of laugh at it. But
he's right. He's kind of, he doesn't really care what his name is. I'm just going to call you Bob. He says Bob's wearing a dress. Is that why you're so angry? Because they make you wear a dress. So right now, he doesn't know this person at all, other than he's keeping him held captive.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't know his history, doesn't know him as a person. And a lot of times when you think about people, if you don't get to know them, all you really know is just this surface thing, right? And once you get to know somebody, then fears start to drop off and understanding starts to come around. And so, yeah, at first, Bob was just silly Bob following him around. Right.
Yeah. And then Bob sacrifices himself for him.
Yep.
He's like, Ogren-san, and and jumps in and saves him.
Right.
I think that moment when Bob sacrifices himself, I think that's the moment where I start choking up, and then I'm just an emotional mess
for the rest
of the movie. Yeah.
I think it's because it really touches on. I think deep down, character and honor are really important things. Your character is a very important thing. And even though, we're watching the movie The Last Samurai, and it's kind of glamorized a little bit, and the samurai are the kind of the heroes in this movie. We are rooting for them. Well, the reality is the samurai, they were honorable people, but they were also kind of dictators. It was their way or you die type of thing.
Yeah.
But
would you say it's the Japanese equivalent of like the Sicilian mafia? Because that's where the American mafia came from.
I'll bet that's pretty close. Yeah.
The American mafia was a modernized, Americanized version of what the Sicilian mafia was. And you had these chieftains that lived in different cities in Italy and kind of made the rules. And you went to them for assistance, and they would offer it to you, and you had to show loyalty.
Like The Godfather.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm surprised we still haven't talked about that movie, by the way.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I've got a really, really long bucket list.
Yeah.
So... I think that's one of the things that really drives this movie, especially for me, but I'm sure this is one of the reasons it drives for a lot of people, is there's just a lot of emotion that's built into it. And it's emotional because we get to see people as people and not just an object. He's not just a samurai. Katsumoto isn't just a samurai leader, right? He's a person who has had a past and a history and has thoughts and and then Algren is the same way. You know, when you're first introduced to Algren, he's a drunk, and you know that's just. But people are a lot more complex than that, and there's a lot more to them. And so, when you kind of start getting to know people better and understand them better, and maybe why they are the way that they are, then you can get linked into it because you're the same. Sorry, you're the same way, right?
Mm-hmm.
You value honor, you value respect, you value kindness, and those are important,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you kind of start to transpose yourself into these people, right?
Yeah.
The Ken Watanabe character, Katsumoto, I absolutely loved him. I loved his character. I loved what he was trying to do and his belief. And even though he wanted Japan to stay a certain way, because that's the way his family, like, what's his name? Who did I just talk about?
Amora?
Omura. His family was into amassing power and money, right? And that's another character we really don't, we only get to see that, the surface of Omura, right? They didn't really show us a lot about him other than maybe greed and power. So Katsumoto, his family for a million years has been defending the Japanese way of life. And now it's to him. Now he carries the sword. He carries the burden of keeping, you know, this going.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so he's got
And
that going for him.
And that's, he feels that that's something worth fighting for, worth dying for.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When your entire way of life is on the line, you can't just let it go. You can't just
Right.
roll over and play dead. Yeah. So,
Although if the emperor would have said, kill yourself, he would have done it immediately.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Katsumoto says when the snow thaws over the mountains, that he will be returned to
Right. Right.
the other side.
Algren
essentially.
asks him, why am I here? And it's a pretty simple answer. You're here because you can't leave right now.
Yeah.
There's no way out.
So he meets the two little boys that live in the same house as him,
Right.
and he killed their father.
Right.
Which, man, that's got to be a hard thing to try to cope with.
Yeah, yeah. That's probably rough for everybody all the way around.
Yeah, yeah. And in the end, this family comes to love this man who killed their father.
Right.
And so this whole movie is kind of about forgiveness. It's about forgiveness of, you know, some of the people who have wronged you.
Right.
It's about forgiveness of oneself.
Well,
Algren has to learn to forgive himself for the things that he's done.
Right. That's a big part of that character arc, right? I'm not super familiar with what exactly character arc is, but yeah, there's this huge change from the beginning to the end in how he views himself.
Yeah.
And as he starts to forgive himself and understand himself better and starts to have some sort of peace inside, he starts to see the people differently and what they're about. And he starts to see beauty and he starts to see goodness, whereas before he could never see those things. They didn't exist.
He starts to learn the language.
Right.
Yeah, he starts learning to communicate and learning Japanese and
Right.
talking to these people and getting to know these people,
Right.
which is really cool. So afterwards, they take him back to, what is it, Tokyo? Is that where
I think they're
the Emperor's
summoned.
at?
Yeah, I think they're summoned back to Tokyo. Right. After the ninja have come and tried to kill
Oh,
them.
that's right. I forgot about the ninja. Yeah.
Right.
The ninja come in and try to do, an attempt to.
I got to tell you, if I had $1 for every time I had to go out and fight ninjas off my roof.
All right. So the samurai are attacked by the ninjas. They are dispatched. There's a few casualties.
And it's actually Tom Cruise that, I mean, he steps into the role of becoming a samurai because he's starting to love the people that he's with. He's understanding them, and he's connecting with them. And so now he has people that are coming to kind of take away what he's grown to love now.
Yeah.
And, he sees them on the roof. He warns them of what's going on. He fights alongside them. Yeah.
That kind of seals the deal. They're just like, this guy is honorable and he's one of us. He alerted his former enemy of an attacker.
Right.
So
he could have just let them kill him. They were shooting arrows or something. So, yeah. But you're right.
And that poor actor in the kabuki mask.
I know. We don't know who that guy was.
But he gets killed.
He's got a headache.
Yeah. They go back to Tokyo and try to settle their differences. Can't be settled.
After the everything thaws, passes open. Okay. Emperor wants us to come back. Yeah.
And you notice that the emperor is kind of wishy-washy. He kind of does what he doesn't have a backbone. He's kind of told to do what his advisors tell him to do. And
that's right. And I think that's kind of the way it was set up was the emperor was kind of just a figure. He wasn't the person that came up with the rules and made the laws and those types of things. That was Omura and some of those other people on the council. They were the ones that were kind of coming up with what Japan is going to do.
It's like the queen of and the king of England now. They don't actually rule.
Right. And the emperor is so young. In fact, there's the scene where he's walking with Katsumoto and talking to him and almost begging, please tell me what to do here. I don't know what to do. And of course, Katsumoto's like, you're the living God. I can't tell you what to do. This is for you. Whatever you say, that's what's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
So yeah, the emperor, he has no idea what to do about anything.
Yeah.
So
he is kind of a little kid, isn't he? He's got a baby face, and his facial hair has barely come in, and
right.
Yeah. It'd be easy to manipulate someone like that because you see these people who are adults and you kind of are just, you grow up believing that adults have all the answers.
Right.
And you don't really find out till you're older that they were kind of just winging it,
Yeah, a lot of times that's the deal. Even, looking at myself as a dad, it was my job for you guys to come up with answers and make decisions. And a lot of times when things would come up, you're just kind of guessing. I think this is probably going to be best. I hope it works out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, you don't know everything. You don't have all the answers. So yeah, they go back to Tokyo, and
peace can't be reached.
Right. I think there have been rules that have put in place that they can't wear swords in the city and these types of things. And all of these rules, they're all designed to just completely eliminate the samurai, all aspects of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Very targeted laws.
And so, the samurai, they can't follow that. And, so Katsumoto's arrested. And arrested just means you're going to be executed. Right.
They cut off his son's top knot in the middle of the city square, which is a huge source of dishonor.
That was right. And that for me was really sad to see. He was so broken when they cut his hair off, almost like
What's the point of living after
they
this?
took away his manhood or something. You know what? That's kind of what it looked like.
It's a very, very strong source of pride, and to have that taken away.
Right.
Yeah. So they do a jailbreak. They break out Katsumoto. And
Tom Cruise poses as the president of the
Yeah.
United States.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's great. And then Timothy Spall joins the
Yeah.
charade.
Right.
He's clearly chosen a side at this point. He was kind of a neutral party at first, and now
Well, he doesn't want to get into trouble.
Yeah.
You know? So.
yeah, but now he's decided to take the side of the samurai.
Right.
And they break out Katsumoto. His son dies.
Yeah.
Very, very sad scene. He, dies trying to.
He's top knotless, and they kill him on the bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Before we get there, though, we have that one scene where Tom Cruise is surrounded by all those guys. He's been training in the way of sword fighting, and
Right.
he gets the crap kicked out of him 100 times.
I know.
Yeah.
It was great watching that progression of him learning. And one of the biggest things that he had to end up learning was when he was in one of the little training battles, and the guy that runs the village, he comes over and he says, you got to stop thinking about everything. He says, no mind.
There is no spoon.
Yeah, there's no spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's saying, stop thinking about us that are watching. Stop thinking about your opponent. Stop thinking about yourself.
Your sword.
Yeah, just be in the moment of what's happening right there. That's it. And that's where he can kind of start to visualize and almost creative visualize when he's in the battle with the guys that are surrounding him. That's kind of what happens is he runs through the entire scenario in his head because he
Discombobulate.
he lets go of everything that's going on and just, lets that play out.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a cool scene. You see it all play out, little slow motion, and then exactly how he pictured it.
Discombobulate. I just got it. That's a great show. Robert Downey Jr., baby.
Yeah. And exactly how he pictures it. That's how he kills all those guys.
Right.
So now it's time to prepare for war. They know the battle's coming.
They go back to the village.
Yeah. Now we got the final battle, and they don't go down. They don't go down without a fight. They have a strategy. They do that Bunker Hill thing where they wait behind the hill and they wait for the army to come
Right.
around, and they get ambushed and
Thermopylae.
yeah.
Yeah. So they formulate a plan, and I think going into this, they knew going up against these guns that these people have and stuff, they can put up a fight, and they can, make a good fight, which is what the samurai are kind of wanting, is to have a good death, to have a good fight,
Honor.
to put in an honorable fight, right?
Surrendering before the fight wouldn't have been the honorable decision.
Yeah. But then, in the end, Tom Cruise is the only one that ends up surviving.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Which is just unreal. So I had thought, when I think about the name The Last Samurai, I think of Tom Cruise, right?
Because he's on the cover of the DVD.
Yeah, he's the last samurai. But
Not really.
I think it was the samurai way of life.
Yeah.
As a whole, I think is what it's kind of more referring to.
Katsumoto was the last samurai.
Yeah. Or his village or his whatever. Yeah.
And that's such a heartbreaking scene. That scene gets me every time. Where they got the machine gun going.
Yeah. And Omura wants them to just keep shooting and shooting. And
that general's like, no, stop.
Right. Yeah. He, because he had honor also, even though he was with the army. He was still raised in that culture. He still had honor. He understood what was really going on here.
Because that general's goal was to defeat the enemy.
Right.
And if the enemy is already done, that's not what Amora's goal was. His was to teach them a lesson and to eradicate an entire way of life.
Right.
If they already lost, why keep going?
Because he's just a bad guy.
Yeah.
He was mean.
And so all the soldiers, they take off their hats and bow to the...
Kneel down.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, that brings two things to mind. When Katsumoto and Algren are in a courtyard and they're looking at
Cherry blossoms.
And let's see. Actually, I put it down here. Oh, Katsumoto says, the perfect blossom is a rare thing. You could spend your entire life looking for one and it would not be a wasted life. So that's what he's saying to Tom Cruise is you could try and find the perfect one and it would be worth it. But then when he's on the field and he's dying and he sees the blossoms in his mind, he realizes every one of them was perfect. There were no imperfect ones. And so I thought that was really cool. He's saying perfect. They're all perfect.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a way of looking at things. If you can see things in a different way and realize what they really are, you can look at, like I can look at my kids and I can think, what a bunch of losers, Or I could choose, hey, my kids are perfect. My kids are good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that way. I do think my kids are losers, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well, we got to wait till you're
Cut that.
Where you're on the battlefield. That's when you're going to realize is when you got that sword in your.
Right.
Do you have a samurai sword?
I do.
I figured you would.
Tom Cruise, and then Tom Cruise helps him fulfill killing himself.
His honor.
So he can keep his honor. He doesn't just die on the field full of bullets. He gets to take his own life in an honorable way. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty emotional.
Yeah. And I think the last gut punch of the movie is Tom Cruise delivering the sword to the Emperor.
Oh, yeah.
And the Emperor finally
stands up for once.
himself.
Right.
And he even offers, Katsumoto's sword to Amora and says,
right.
Take your life.
If you feel so disgraced, then you take your life then.
Yeah.
Right.
To retain your honor.
Right.
Which, of course, he backs down.
No. Yeah.
Because he has no honor.
Yeah, so the Emperor at the end, when he kind of gets down to talk to Tom Cruise, and he says, referring to Katsumoto, tell me how he died. And Algren says, I'll tell you how he lived. I think that was really powerful to, I want to tell you what he was about, not just how he was killed.
Because
that's irrelevant.
That was so little of what he was about,
Right.
what his life was.
Right. And I think it was important for that so that the Emperor could make a decision that we can't lose ourselves in all these other things. We have to retain this honor. We have to retain what our ancestors were about and how this was made and why we are the way we are, right? So everything on the movie, visual, effects, costumes.
Yep.
I mean, my gosh, the costumes were phenomenal.
Got some notes here. All the costumes were aged and dented by hand
Oh,
to make them look battle worn,
okay.
so that they didn't look like fresh museum displays. So they were fatigued and
Right.
you know.
We just made these. Put them on. Now go to battle.
Exactly. Yeah. Talking about the cinematography for a little bit. This movie was shot by John Toll. He was very insistent on using natural light for this movie. So whatever the sun was shining on, that's what we got. Of course, during night scenes, you're going to have to light those. They're a little harder to do
Sure.
naturally, but they were trying to do as much naturally. Shot on anamorphic lenses. They were using warm tones for the village. Made it feel very peaceful and friendly. And then any of the scenes that were showing, you see it especially during the Civil War flashbacks. It was blue and cold and felt heartless. And,
Right.
And that's what they wanted you to feel. And so naturally, those colors, you're going to feel.
It's almost like they made an honorable scene and they made a non-honorable scene.
And you could see, you could turn the volume off on the movie.
Yeah.
And you could see just with color the tone of each of those scenes. Like they wanted you to feel safe and comforted in the village.
Right.
And something didn't feel right. It felt gross and horrible during the war scenes.
Well, I think you had to have a sense of peace because that's what the village was all about. It was about beauty and peace, right? And so you couldn't have a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah. The fog and smoke and snowfall weren't just aesthetic choices. They were used to obscure modern weapons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The final battle was filmed to feel disorienting, not heroic, reinforcing inevitability.
It did seem disorienting.
Yeah.
It was chaotic.
Yep. Little word on the music here. The music was done by Hans Zimmer, who you probably know him best from Inception
Yeah.
and from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah.
So he mentioned that this is his most spiritual score, that he feels that this is like coming deep from the heart, and it means the music of this movie means a lot to him.
Yeah.
And it was done without percussion like drums and stuff like that, because he felt that the drums in battle scenes would glorify the war, and he did not want any of the war to be glorified.
Who was kind of your favorite character? Who did you really...
Katsumoto by far.
Yeah, Katsumoto.
And then I don't remember what his name is in the movie, but Hiroyuki Sanada. I love him. I think he's so cool. He's the one who...
Ujo.
Yeah. He's the one who fights Tom Cruise and beats the crap out of him a couple
He's
times.
teaching him right.
Yeah, those two characters are my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. Ken Watanabe Katsumoto is just... He does such a phenomenal job.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Billy Connolly, he was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You got to love Tony Goldwyn. He's just so good. You love to hate him.
So a couple of interesting things that I had read about, they were talking about kind of some misconceptions versus reality about what was going on there.
Yeah.
You know, they make movies, they want to make them, you know, takes a little bit of liberty. They're making them to be entertaining. And it had talked about the samurai. They didn't want anything to do with guns. But the reality was oftentimes they did use guns along with their swords.
Yeah, it makes for a better movie that they don't use guns.
Right. Because that is a principle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's a shorthand for showing what these people believe. These people don't use guns, they only use swords. So it kind of in your head instills what these people believe by just mentioning that quick fact.
Right.
You know?
And I think the sword, I think it had something to do with the souls of their ancestors or something like that.
Yeah.
So Americans come to help modernize Japan. It was actually the Prussian army that came and helped modernize the Japanese army.
Huh.
Not Nathan
Not America.
Algren,
Not Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was not there.
The samurai's role. We kind of touched on this a little bit, but they were kind of romanticized, and it's kind of tragic. We take the side of the samurai. We feel bad for them, but a lot of Japanese people, when the samurai class kind of came to an end, they were
Kinda
happy.
grateful.
They were happy about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the most part. Yeah.
You want to give Alec a call?
Oh, yeah. Did you get a hold of him?
Yeah, he
We
said.
can do that. Do I need to set up my phone so we're plugged in?
Yeah, let's
Hold
do
on.
that. Oh, is that my brother?
Yes.
Are those my friends?
Where's my brother? Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
What's up, Alec?
Hey, what's up?
Alec Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Alec Johnson. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Lord have mercy.
What's going on, bud?
Nothing. I'm just laying on the couch.
Why'd you call me? What do you want?
Who called me?
Oh, so
What's going on? What are we doing?
Tabor and I are talking about The Last Samurai, and we've kind of wrapped up what we're going to talk about. We thought we'd get you on the phone because you had come home for Christmas, and that was the first time you had ever seen it when we sat down and watched it with Tabor and me and Nicholas. So I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it. What kind of from a movie perspective, from an emotional perspective, blah blah blah.
Oh, okay. Well, you're calling me at an interesting hour. I wasn't expecting this. No.
Okay.
I think the first thing I noticed about it is,
The aspect ratio.
well, yeah, the aspect ratio, and maybe that's just
On
because
my
we were watching
on my
it.
TV, I have it in 4:2 aspect ratio. So
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Means we're watching a TikTok video on Dad's TV.
Yeah, that might be the case. It was vertical. No, the first thing I noticed was maybe it's just how DVDs look on like movies that aren't in a higher resolution, and I'm just not used to that anymore. Or what? But like the lighting scene, and also lighting has changed across decades of movies.
Yeah.
But it was just like a lot different. It wasn't dramatic, and it wasn't like very contrasty. It felt, I don't want to say flat, but very natural. Like I feel like nowadays you watch a movie and it feels like you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
And The Last Samurai doesn't really feel like that.
So we had kind of talked about that. We had mentioned that the cinematographer did all of the lighting with natural light.
Okay.
As best as he can. Obviously the nighttime scenes shooting on film, you can't do that. You have to light film for night scenes. With the digital camera you might be able to get away with it, but it's different nowadays. So
Yeah, they didn't have 128,000 ISO film stock like you can do with like a Sony FX3 or whatever.
yeah. Cinematography. Natural light.
Yeah. Natural light. Sony FX3.
Yeah. Air Force One.
And this was not shot on the FX3, right?
That is correct. It was not. It was shot on, I believe, a Panavision with anamorphic lenses.
That's right. We looked that up.
Yeah.
Because the first two things that any film person does after they finish watching a movie is log it on Letterboxd and then go to shotonwhat.com.
Figure out what it was shot on.
Yes.
All those poor movies that were shot on potatoes. I'd be curious to see those.
Potatoes.
Potato vision.
Potato.
Shout out to
Joe Estevez.
Joe Estevez. Yeah. Did you like the movie?
Oh yeah, I thought it was great.
Good. Did you cry?
No, but you know that I don't really cry during movies.
Yeah. I think the saddest part is when the little boys came up to him and like, "We'll be your samurai dad."
And then they got on the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that moment when he was leaving, and the boy was sad to see him leave because he didn't want another like father figure to die
Yeah.
at war. But
So even though you don't cry at the movies and stuff, what are some things about the movie that they really spoke to you or touched you, or what were some scenes or some interactions?
I feel like the music is one thing that it carries a lot of emotional weight,
It does.
which I feel like some films I don't know, it's like either the music just doesn't really do it, or they rely too heavily on the music. And I think without the score, it would still have a lot of that emotional impact, just because the acting performances are incredible, and the subject matter and everything. But yeah, I think it just really fits with each scene. Like, even I don't remember if this scene had music, because I know there were some scenes where they were kind of intense because they didn't have music. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, there's the scene where towards the beginning where they're saying we need to send these soldiers off, and Alugrin says
Alugrin.
they're not ready, and then he has the guy like try to shoot at him,
Right.
Yeah.
and he's missing every shot. And I can't remember, maybe I'm just making this up in my head, but I feel like that there's some like music that builds there as it gets more intense,
No.
and he's asking him to shoot him, and just like you feel the anxiety of that soldier.
Oh, it's
through the music.
super tense. Yeah.
Yeah. That soldier's terrified, and Alugrin,
Utsai!
he
Utsai!
wants to die. He's hoping that the guy will get a good shot in.
Yeah.
You know who did the music?
I do not.
Hans Zimmer.
I was gonna guess that.
So I don't know if this is a thing or not as far as music goes, but it seemed like the music was soft but powerful at the same time.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. It just goes to show the right music at the right time,
Right.
you know. Not to always bring Bigfoot Falls into this, but the music at the end always
Yeah.
the music fits really well for that one. So it's
How that whole thing was put together, the music and the cinematography and the emotion that pulls you through it, all of that all wrapped together was extremely powerful.
yeah.
Yeah. But it took all of those elements together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably just do an episode on Bigfoot Falls one of
We
these days.
should. We should have you on.
Yeah. And we should talk to Jared and Barry and Cody and kind of just get everyone's thoughts on what it was like to make
My
that.
good friend Barry. Shout out to Barry.
As a sound guy, Alec, what did you notice about the sound design of Last Samurai?
It's weird because there's like this big shift in sound. There are like two big shifts. There was like the creation of sound, which like I wouldn't consider a shift, but it was like the introduction of synchronized sound in film in the 1920s. And then from there until like somewhere in the 60s, it had this very specific tone to it. And then that shifted from about the 70s to the 90s and like early 2000s. And that also has like its own tone to it. It's a lot more like high fidelity, of course, than the older stuff. But it's not as clean as like modern movies. And I think it like has a certain charm to it that a lot of modern movies miss. Like when it's just too clean.
Yeah.
It's like shooting
Digital.
digital and then not
Having the grain.
adding any film grain, any texture, contrast, things like that. It's like, how can we make everything sound perfect? And that's not really how the real world is.
And we've gotten so used to imperfections in cinema, like film grain. And I don't know if you've seen Taxi Driver, but for some reason I really love the sound in Taxi Driver. I think right around that time you're right, is when, like, after Taxi Driver, how audio is or how dialogue is recorded changes and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we got used to the imperfections because that's what we saw when we went to go see movies. And now that that's missing, I think we kind of subconsciously recognize that, and we kind of, as they say, the children yearn for the mines.
Yeah, exactly. But also,
They don't.
I mean,
They don't say that.
Yeah, some of the older ones do.
the older ones
Do you
do.
hear
I hear
them in
them in
the
the
mall?
mines.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like also there's imperfections in real life, and that's what we're used to. Not everything, I'm sitting in my apartment right now and I hear horns honking outside and the air conditioning running and stuff like that. And it's just like, once it becomes too clean, it sort of becomes unrealistic. And like I was saying before with lighting and stuff like that, once you start to notice that a movie is a movie and that you're viewing it rather than being a part of it, it sometimes takes a little bit of the charm away. And that's also what the sound of The Last Samurai does, is you feel like you're a part of it because you don't have like this very intense quiet atmosphere with just like the dialogue and a little bit of ambience and music. You get all the sounds of the wind and the birds and the footsteps, and it's rough around the edges, and that's what makes it sound real, and like it helps keep you in the moment.
Do you think that this new thing with AI voice isolation is going to push things in the wrong direction still?
No, because I mean, we're already at that point of having super clean audio. This is just going to make it easier to get there, and more accessible. But I think it's more about being a good sound designer and re-recording mixer and things like that. Because you can take something that's super clean and you can make it sound just like adding film grain to an image. You can make it sound like it's recorded in a different era. So yeah, I think it's making it more accessible, but we've always had, I mean, at least in the digital era, we've had ways to clean things up to the point where, it sounds like you're recording in a booth rather than actually on a set.
So something that I was reading about the sound design for Last Samurai. 3 things. One, that the sword clashes were recorded with non-metal objects to avoid the cliche clang sounds that you normally get from sword fighting. The ching ching, like they didn't want any of that. And the gunfire was mixed to feel overwhelming and impersonal. There was no heroic punch to it. They did, like we were talking about earlier, this was not to glorify war. It was to show the atrocities.
Right.
There was moments of silence, usually after heavy battles, to kind of help you sit with what had just happened. And the director told a lot of the actors that in this movie, silence is also dialogue, that you can say a lot by not saying anything.
Right.
And that was used a lot throughout the movie.
One of the actors that we talked about, Ugio,
Yeah.
he was very much like that. He didn't have a ton of dialogue, but he had a fair amount of screen time, and a lot of the times he wasn't saying something, but
it was still imposing.
It was powerful what he was not saying, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add before we head on out of here, Alec?
I don't think so. I mean, go watch The Last Samurai for those of you who hasn't seen it.
So
haven't seen it.
We should grade it.
My dad's favorite movie on my dad's movie podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to grade it Samurai Swords.
Okay.
I was kind of wondering, who was your favorite character in it? I mean, who did you just absolutely love?
It's hard to say because it's really hard not to love all the samurai and the people in that town.
Right.
Because like they're painted as these villains at the beginning, and then they capture this guy and immediately are the most respectful people to him after he, killed their friends and family and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's like their way of life just makes them lovable people, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Just samurai as a whole.
Yeah, maybe
All those characters.
What's his name?
Katsumoto?
Nobutada.
Who's the boy, the like 18-year-old boy?
He owns the village.
Yeah. That's his name. Nobutada?
Nobutada.
Yeah. I liked him a lot. Jolly good?
Jolly good. That's right.
Yeah.
His name is Shin Koyamada.
I think that's him, the one who gets his hair cut.
Right. Gets his hair cut off and then dies on the bridge. Yeah.
That was one of the only scenes that I had seen from the movie when I was younger, was him dying on the bridge.
Well, and it was powerful because that's Ken Watanabe's or Katsumoto's son,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, you can see Katsumoto, you can see the pain in him of losing his son. He knows that the son's going to end up dying. What an unbearable thing. But he pulls him up and he knows that for the samurai, he has to do his duty. He has to do what he's supposed to do. And that's the honorable thing, right? His death is going to be honorable, right? So,
Yeah.
nice. So, grade it for me. Alec, what do you think?
I would say 8.8 samurai swords out of 10. And then one of those little tiny ones that they use in the ninja battle.
Yeah.
I don't remember what those are called.
So I would give this 8 Winchester rifles out of 10.
All right.
So you're going Western.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all in all, everything that the movie presents and the feeling that it the emotion that it conveys and where it takes you and the cinematography and just everything about it, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 samurai sword plus a top knot
Yeah.
on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah. In your words, perfect.
Perfect.
It's all perfect.
They're all perfect.
Yeah. All right. Well, Alec, thank you for coming on and talking with us. We couldn't get Nick. We're going to bump him to next week's episode with Matt Damon.
That's cool. You're getting Matt Damon.
Yeah.
So Alec, just out of curiosity, do you believe a man can change his destiny?
I feel like I'm supposed to know the answer to that.
Do you know it, Tabor?
I don't know the quote.
Don't know the line? Katsumoto, you believe a man can change his destiny? Algren, I think a man does what he can until his destiny is revealed. Nice.
Love it.
All right.
All right.
I'm glad you came on, Alec.
Yeah.
Now go put some pants on.
Now go get your shine box. We'll have to watch that movie too. Dang it. Lots of good movies out there.
All right. You ready to roll out?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
And we're gone.
Tell this man that if he does not end this podcast, I will shoot him.
All good.
Yeah. All right.